Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Iron Panther Presents. This is a good day. We shall be discussing Landman, Season 1, Episode 8. And if you've been following our reviews, I liked this episode. One more time. I enjoyed this episode. Things happened that made me happy. Things are moving forward, and I have a little bit of faith about the last two episodes. So if you're looking for a different review than my past reviews, this is good. I got a lot of positives about this. But anyway, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video, comment on the video, share the video, watch the video to the end. I got some good things to say about this episode, and I'm again looking forward to it. Anyway, enjoy the intro. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Yes, we are here to discuss Landman. And as Shimani said, David, give it time. It might change. It might give you some hope. And this episode did. So I did enjoy this episode. Jamani, what'd you think about this episode?
Yeah, I thought it had some. I think you should go first because you seem like you have a lot of positive stuff.
I do. The first 17 minutes was exactly what I thought this show was gonna be. Like Cooper, I've said this every review, and this episode just took it to the next level for me. Cooper is this show. Like he is the Casey of this show, and turned out to be Beth somehow. So if Rebecca is Beth, if that's the archetype, right? If you're looking at that hard charging woman, always the smartest one in the room, she demolished those lawyers, right? When she was like, this is not a negotiation, this is a surrender. So give up that money and shut the hell up. And she walked out and had a latte, had a beer or whatever with Tommy. I was like, this woman cannot be beaten until, Cooper shows up. And then Cooper's like, she's like, oh, you know what? We're going to come after you if you don't get this woman to sign this paperwork. And he was like, that's not how any of this is going to go down. So let me explain. I was like, what? He put her in her place immediately. And even the other lawyer was like, yeah, that's how you do it. And I was like, $1 million. And I don't know why we're still talking. No, I meant $1 million for everyone. Okay. And she just walked out. I was like, Cooper. Then we flash forward to Tommy standing up for his son. And I loved it when Rebecca was like, yo, son, isn't it kind of weird? And I hope she's actually right, though. Just a look like for her to be like this man who's actually educated in these machines. All of a sudden, the whole thing explodes on his first day with this crew. And now he's fucking one of the widow's wives. I don't think that was his long range plans, but the fact that she had this all worked out, and he said, you come after my son, that's going to be your ass. And she was like, is that a threat? Yes, I'm threatening you. I want to make sure you're very clear on this. I was like, and he pulled the chair out from under her. He actually pulled the chair. I was like, what? Like, yo, I was like, this is how you do it. I was like, all of it. I was like, this is what I was looking for.
No.
This is what I was looking
all
for.
right, so that was all well and good, right? What I liked was when he went to that car, when he went to the pickup truck, and the wife called, and he was like, I can't deal with this now. I'll be home when I'm home.
Again, I love, you're right. That was awesome too. He's like, I ain't got time for this shit. Like I got real stuff I'm dealing with right now. And I'm like, I loved it because I'm trying to stay positive. He was like, I got too many things going on and I got to move on. Right. So this was an opportunity for Taylor, because he writes all these episodes, to make Angela useful, to make Angela an actual partner where he feels like he can talk to her to be like, I'm dealing with your son. Your son just talked his way into $1 million, which is far more money he would ever make And like and again, the company. This is coming from the company and all this stuff. And he's like, I
No,
can't even begin to talk to her about this.
but see, I guess we'll get getting into tweaks or whatever. But I'm like, fuck did he not ask for money for himself? He was in the accident. Like, sure, you ain't gonna get as much as death benefits, but you can at least get a couple 100,000 or something. Like
you get that's all facts. You're right. I mean, you're right. Like he should have been part of the lawsuit too, right? I mean, you're absolutely right, but he's playing the long-term game. I mean, he's not really doing they're setting him up to be this like chivalrous angel, like that comes in and he always says the right thing. He's like, girl, you don't even giving me the draw.
When you say he says the right thing, right? I was about to throw the whole show out the window when he said, I quit. I've learned all that I can learn from them. I said,
okay, that was too much. That was too much. I don't know. I don't know how you got there.
When you get to Rebecca and she's like, oh, well, he went to school for this and he knows this and he knows that. And well, I was like, okay, I kind of see where he's coming from now. All right, I'll give him a pass now.
Well, again, though, we don't know any of this because we're in episode 8 and all we get is Ainsley. Okay, again, positives. So first 17 minutes. Tommy's whole thing about getting the National Guard involved was gold, especially how it ended. The fact that these guys accidentally killed the drug dealer, like this is not going to go well, especially when the governor said, don't have this on the news. Very specific. Let's not just keep it the way, just keep it low, but we're going to help you out. And I was like, this ending makes me want to watch the next episode. Like you were right. You said, David, like read this description. There's some meat here. And I was like, and they did it right. They did it right. I was like, and I loved it. My only problem, again, not a problem, tweak. It's not a problem. It's a tweak. The drug dealers finally showed up and was like, you give us our millions or there will be consequences. And there still hasn't been any consequences. So if said drug dealers were out there setting up bombs or something that even the military were like, we have enemy combatants, and like it was like a thing, right? That would have made it more like interesting to watch. This was just
I think it was they were doing a bully move of like we know that we're supposed to absorb this loss, but we're gonna try to bully what we lost out of you, and they're just gonna see how far it goes. But now that people are actually getting blown up and stuff again, now it's like, all right, now this is like a declaration of war or something. So now the stakes have higher. So I can see more happening, towards the next 2 episodes. But as far as this whole drug smuggling thing, that was the most unbelievable shit I've ever seen in my life. I was like, all right, forget about DEA, FBI, Homeland Security, whatever federal agency you want to think of. You've got other cartels, right? And they have drones. You're going to do all of this out in the open, right? Like you're not going to go inside, put the car on a lift, get the stuff out, and
right there.
You're just gonna do it right there.
Right there. Okay, so again, Lioness season 2 did it better. Damn it. You know how hard is it for me to say that? like even they did it better. To your point, but again, I'm trying to focus on the positive though. Not a drug again. They saw the oil rigs. It was like, again, we are here to mess up these oil rigs because again, the first $30 million that they lost, you don't just write that off. Rebecca was far more menacing about not spending money than the cartel was about getting back their money. That doesn't make any sense that she's more ruthless than these killers. Like, I'm like, no. And they were out there doing some wild stuff. And again, using these tires to set up like bombs or like road traps so the trucks would get messed up. That would have made more sense to whatever in the world was happening. But again, I disagree. If they all of a sudden go, this is the moment that we're gonna go military on these oil field guys, it's too little, too late. I mean, we're going to 9 and 10. Like we should have had this episode 5, really. But I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping you're right, and that's what causes this to escalate because they finally actually that actually killed people last time. But that was the other oil company, which we have not seen. Like, I think those were the people who were at the arbitration or whatever. Like, those are the people that Rebecca put in their place. I'm assuming that's the other oil company. But they should have been the one being attacked, even if it was off camera and Tommy just got a message of our trucks blew up, our people got kidnapped, something that these cartel people were getting one of these oil companies to pay them back all the money they lost on that road and that road accident would have worked. Ainsley, if you've been watching our reviews, I have shitted on Ainsley for a good reason. Every review, she's a sex toy for the most part. But in this episode, finally, in this episode, she makes sense. When she has this quarterback that she was going to give a hand job to, and she's like, hey, I want to test to see if you're really about me. And she takes him back to the old folks' home. I loved that. That she was like, let's see if he's really just about me or about these draws. Like, I loved it. I was like, this is what I wanted to see. Finally,
elder abuse. This is elder abuse.
It's not elder abuse. Is
that was way past their bedtime. The lady said last episode they were in bed by lights out by 8 p.m.
8 p.m. To your point, that should have been part of the conversation. It should have been like, hey, these people really need to get the. But I loved it. I love seeing them there, having a great time, playing charades. The fact that this quarterback is completely stupid, which somehow was not mentioned, that he couldn't get the clues. Like, he's good, but like Taylor being the writing that he doesn't do this all the time, and I don't know why he's doing this now. But for the old woman to be like, I need some dick in my face, and then this one she was like, I need to get fucked. She said something to, oh, you need to be on all fours in the back of his truck. That's what she said. I'm like, this is unnecessary. Like, what are we achieving?
I'm like, I thought when she said I need a dick in my face, I thought that Angela was gonna immediately hook her up with Nate.
It's funny you should bring, well, one that never came back to anything. So yeah, I can see. Well, I thought it was Nate. So Dale, I guess, in the other show.
No. Dale is the who was the guy who was eating the chips or whatever outside. I'm talking about Nate, the lawyer.
Oh, no. I would picture Dale first, because he's kind of like the comic relief. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would see Dale being the one again that Angela never actually got back to that. But I thought that's how that was going to work out. But again, I love even Angela taking the people out with the bowling and stuff. And again, like they're trying to give her some kind of depth and like
I was like, I'm waiting for this to go bad, because I'm like, you're taking old people bowling. Like, this is a hernia waiting to happen.
I'm feeling death. Usually in these types of situations, she grows fond to someone, and that one person, and then that person is dead. Like when she goes back.
That happens if you go and you sit in the park. Somebody just dies and keels over. I'm talking about you're lifting up like 5, 8, 10-pound bowling balls. Like, somebody's throwing their back out. This medical emergency is going to happen.
I feel like they could have failed, and somebody could have fell and broke a hip. I mean, to your point, like that could have been something they could have did, had a little bit of shenanigans to it. Ariana,
I'm like that van. I'm like, I gotta call bullshit on that, because I'm like, all right, that's basically the short bus. You need a special license to drive that. Like, she couldn't just, it's just there. I can just drive it with my regular license. Like, you need like some sort of, I don't know, class whatever license to drive that bus.
That's your problem. But I mean, so again, Angela, she just, again, the opening scene of them having positives. I want because I can go down a rabbit hole. So Ariana irritated me. I've said many times, like, this whole like deer in the headlights. I don't know what money is. I don't understand how paperwork works and how the life works. And it was getting on my nerves. And she's like, again, what's an NDA? I'm like, okay. But the fact, but everything is what does Cooper say? What does Cooper say? And he's like, Cooper's like, I got this shit. But I like the fact she was, again, they're gonna be a couple. Like let's just acknowledge this and get this thing going. But I like how they're trying.
no. What got me was after everything was put to bed with Rebecca, it was I don't know about us anymore. I was like, she's about to kick us to the curb, but she just put it out there. She didn't actually do it, but I was like, I was just waiting for that to happen.
Well, no. I didn't see that happening. When she said, I'll make up your room, though, that's I'm like, no, baby. Your room is my room. Because I just got one. Also, we're moving out. We are moving out this neighborhood because we got $1 million. So I'm gonna pick the house with the money that I got you. I was able to get you, and that's how this is gonna be. Like your job will be, as always, staying in the house, making kids, and making sure I'm happy. Like, again, so as much as I've been like, let's develop the characters, and they are taking their time with their relationship. I truly thought she was going to be like, okay, I need to just get down and show you how much I appreciate you, because this man cut your grass, helped you with the child, helped you figure out what bills were, and then just got you $1 million.
And she helped him put his shirt on.
Thank you. And then even I thought, when she was in the shower, I was like, she's jumping in the shower because he's like, like I don't know if I want this to, like, we can wait. She's like, I don't want this to wait. I'm like, just give him the draws. Like, but the fact that they're trying to, this relationship has been developing over episodes, which it should. If it's gonna last, it's gonna go somewhere. But then they put Ainsley in the same scene. Like, you just met this football player yesterday, and all of a sudden they're like, they got some music. Like, this is a true relationship. She found true love.
You want to talk about the dichotomy of parenting? It was lie to me, going to Bible study. Then he gets in with Cooper. He's like, no, see, we're doing this. And no, tell me the truth.
To your, thank you, Jamani. Thank you, Jamani. They have been consistent with their inconsistent parenting of an adult 22-year-old Cooper and 17-year-old Ainsley. And once again, they're putting more, well, in the sense they're more critical of 22-year-old Cooper's relationship with a single woman than they are of 17-year-old Ainsley, once again out with the guy that he found on top of his 17-year-old daughter. And he's like, it's cool, baby, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, just make sure you come home. It's whatever.
I have to say, Ainsley, they might have created a new life, but Cooper, they were trying to take his life. So, it's a totally different situation.
I'm saying, bro, again, Tommy did not visit just to be like, hey, son, you almost died 2 weeks ago. So twice. Second time, hey, bro, I just want to make sure you're okay. Angela has made no effort to stop by and be like, hey, son, second time near death. How you doing? How's it going? Just let you know mama cares. Not a text message, not a nothing. I was like, I don't know what's going on with that. So Nate, to your point, again, I love that Nate was the only one. I was disappointed that he was the only one that actually wanted to give Cooper credit for doing what should have been done, which is ensuring that the survivors are taken care of this terrible accident, right? Like, he was impressed with what Cooper did, and Tommy Tommy was more impressed with Ariana and her ability to stand on her own and stand up for her situation than he was of Cooper, to be like, you did it. Like, you did what I should have did, which was stand up for the people that I worked with for years and I knew.
He did say, this is not where we we cheap out on or whatever. We do it on, this rig or on this or that or this price or bidding or whatever, but we don't do it on, our friends' widows or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I was at their wedding and all this other stuff.
But that's after Cooper already got the money and their boss is complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you said to Cooper first. You did the right thing, which did not come out of his mouth. He's over there like, are you sure you want to be in this situation? Because this may not turn out right for you. I'm like, one, this ain't your business. Also, I got $1 million, so we're gonna be all right. So I don't know.
They might got 700 or something after taxes.
Far more money than Ariana would have saw. Being with a driller. I mean, so I mean, again, she and then she got it for everybody else. So I'd be interested to see if they're going to show
No,
how the other two women.
now this is where parenting and Nate being Tommy's best friend or good friend or whatever comes in. She's about to get this check. Y'all better hurry up and get married or get a prenup or something.
What?
Because I'm like, you say I got her this money, but I'm like, yeah, she get the money and she can kick you to the curb. So I'm like, you better get get in on that early.
Get in and get a baby in her is what he needs to be doing. I mean, and then she like they're tied together. I'm saying, but
no, that's what I was thinking about, right? When I was watching this episode, and Rebecca's throwing all these her version of the truth that she called it, right?
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want like a 5 years in the future, kind of like last season of Boardwalk Empire, and just see the kid, what, like 5-6 years old or something. It was like, I heard from the kids at school, they said you killed my daddy.
That would be hilarious. That would be a series finale type of situation, to your point. But that would be kind of cool if in the end somehow Cooper is the one is named as the villain in this whole situation. So the boss having a heart attack. Again,
yeah. I thought Demi Moore came in and was like, "You talk to me from now on." And I was like, "Oh, so she's about to be running shit," and then we never saw her again.
Right?
I'm like, "Yo, she must be in witness protection doing acting or something because she comes on set 1 hour out just like that." Like,
hey, not even that. She gets any more than 5 lines. She owns the show. They're like, okay, look, just can you right? I was like, oh, she's gonna take over. Nah, Tommy's like, I don't need to call y'all anymore. I got this. It's cool. I was like, what is happening? That was hilarious. I was like, where is Demi Moore? Even when he was in the ambulance, right, or in the hospital, right? I was like, don't tell me they're not going to call his wife because she's too expensive. Like, and they're like, yeah, no, she's there, but again, Monty. I'm sorry. So like again, I was like, Monty, where's your wife? Monty will be answering the phone in episode 9. There ain't no doubt. Demi Moore ain't got time for any of this. I'm like,
because I was like, this is a nice setup if he's like, recovering and she takes over the business. And then he's like, nah, I'm better. Let me take back over. And she's like, nah, you still need to continue to recruit or whatever. Right. And they're vying for who's going to be in control of this oil company or whatever, civilly, amicably, but, just still like, I'm doing this for your own good.
No, you're right.
Yeah, that would be a nice dynamic, but it doesn't. I don't know how much they could do for 2 more episodes though.
They can't afford it. They can't afford to have Demi Moore on camera that long. But you're right. Again, this would have happened earlier in the series, and we would saw her more involved in the business decisions. So then now that she has this opportunity to take the lead, right? Then she would be like, I'm trying to do this. She's trying to make some moves, like that oil deal that he did with the guy last week. Like that would come up again. Even again, I would imagine that when this whole National Guard situation comes to a head, like she would be the one. I'm gonna call the governor. Let's see if we can like kind of squash this. But to your point of again, you have drug dealers harassing you. Call the DEA. That's their job. Like call the FBI.
They said if we call the government or we start making all these reports or whatever, we will not like they take the trucks, they do this, and then they return it. If we make reports and all this stuff, then it's just going to be an evidence and we'll have to wait years, buy new equipment and all of that stuff.
No. To my question, it's not, they're responsible for the car accident, for the truck accident. It's They're harassing us. There's nothing to take control. There's nothing to seize. Like they came and pulled guns on us. Oh, they're running drugs across our field. Oh, you get surveillance. That's what you get. You get DEA agents out there on surveillance and ATF agents maybe, and then you arrest them. That's not the same thing. Like there's no crime. I'm saying specific crime to investigate. That's just general harassment. But they act like they have to go from mall security guard to National Guard. And I'm like, that's law enforcement that's far more willing to engage legally with your drug problem. Unless there was somehow the oil company was being funded by the drug operation and it just went too far, that's a whole different story. If you found out that Monty is actually losing money and he's like, we need a silent partner in our oil company, and then Tommy was like, Jose Cartel is willing to, to front us a couple of $1 million. That would have been awesome show, and that would be a reason why we can't bring in the actual, like FBI and DEA.
And that would be a reason. And that would be a reason why you're having 5 heart attacks,
right? Because at least 20% of your business is being funded by the cartel. Like that's not. We can't have any of that shit coming out. Like I would. They have the opportunity to do storylines like this. Like when he's like, the oil business is failing. No bank wants to even deal with fossil fuel companies. I'm like, the cartel ain't got no problem as long as we get their piece of it. Like that would be an awesome storyline, bruh. Again though, I would love if Cooper was somehow
or
what
we want to set up oil wells in Mexico, but the cartel owns those, so we got to play their game on this side of the border to get those oil wells in Mexico.
There you go, Jamani. That's also a good one too. I mean, there's options. I'm saying, like, these are all great storylines that they could flush out, and they are not.
Let me ask you as a Texan, right?
Something like that.
You go swimming in the dark?
No. That's not
alligators, whatever.
Well, I mean, again, it was a man-made lake, so I don't know about alligators, but it's just really, it's the oil rigs that are right next to you that could explode, or the chemicals and gases that's coming out of that. That's why I'm like, this is stupid as fuck. Like that's why I'm like, this don't make any sense. And somehow
I can't go to the restaurant because I can't get food on this dress. But I can come up out of the dress and go swimming.
What? Now, back to your statement of I thought we said lie to me, right? The fact that Tommy is asking 150 questions of what this Bible study is going to be doesn't make any sense, because like you said last week, he was very clear. Don't let me know. Just go out there, get it, come home, and don't come home with a baby. But all of a sudden, he's like, what part of the Bible are you studying? And clearly your daughter's lying to you, because she's like, Bible study? And he's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, so this was completely unnecessary. I'm not sure what we're trying to achieve with any of that. But to your point, I thought she was going to swim naked. So the fact that she was wearing anything under that dress, I was very surprised. I thought she'd be like, my mama said you never leave a house with drawers on. Not when you're dating a man that can be paying your bills. I swore that something like that was going to happen. So I was impressed that she had an actual something to wear. So still 2 points. But again, as I said last time, the cartel should have been there. This is where Ainsley gets kidnapped. This is where quarterback gets killed. This, like, show us the cartel trying to take some action, and it impacts his family. Like,
no, this turns into like a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson type of movie. Angela just walked into the nursing home. Let's take her in the nursing home, and then it's like a nurse. They take the whole nursing home hostage or something. If you want your wife back, we
need our money.
Yeah, and we're gonna start killing old people until you do it.
They took the bus. They get back on the bus, and the cartel members are on the bus, and they're like, "This is our bus now," and they just drive off. They drive off with the bus. Like, so, hey, everything's on the table, bro. This would have been relative interesting if they would have did that. If they would have took her and the bus, make her relevant. Like the opening scene of you're trying to give me Saturday night sex on
That didn't
Sunday
make any
morning.
sense as far as the rest of the episode, because the rest of the episode takes place on that day. And I'm like, oh, what lawyer shows up to give a settlement on a Sunday morning?
Okay, I didn't. That's a good point too. That's a good point too. Again, maybe that's part. Cooper was like, that's why Cooper was like, no. We got a better hand than what we think we have. And da 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 da. I don't know. But again, Angela unnecessary. The whole sex scene was unnecessary as always. Ainsley somehow her earbuds stop her from hearing her parents fuck. But somehow she can talk to Dale, who's sitting right there in front of her. And then the
Well, she
yogurt
wasn't
thing.
listening to anything that he said. Really, he was just nodding his head or whatever. There was no audio that she was listening to. Anyway.
No. I mean, they were conversing. I mean, she was like, okay, she responded to what he said. It was just weird because she's like, is my family? He's like, I think your mom's up. Your mom's awake, but I don't think she's up. I think is what he said. Again, I'm not sure what we're trying to achieve. But again, the whole conversation was unnecessary because this is right after the whole Great Cooper scene. And then I'm like, okay, Ainsley's back. I'm like, damn it.
It made sense when you get to the end of the episode because she's like, yeah, come home to get stuff. And he's like, because she says, yeah, I don't know who you're mad at, but it's not in my vagina or whatever, right? So I'm like, he was real mad. So I'm like, he's like, I'm if I go home, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her, right? But as soon as she starts talking, I might just end up choking the shit out of her. So I'm just better staying out until I believe that she's asleep and then coming home.
No, Jamani, that's not what that situation was. But if he would have, I see what you're trying to say, and if that was the conversation they had with her, I would say okay. But no. He was just like, I got more important things to deal with. But like that would have been interesting. But again,
he already dealt with it. I'm like, he wasn't going somewhere else to handle something else. It was, yeah, I just can't deal with you right now.
Well, because again, he's like, I just got done yelling at this woman over. But again, this is conversation about the son. It's like is this going to be an issue? Because I thought Monty was going to be like, what in the hell is your son doing? And that was the second part of the conversation. The first part of the conversation was the cartel. Was the National Guard, I think, and then he called back to be like, "Oh yeah. Your son cost us $3 million." And then he quit. And what? Like you should lead with that and be like, I need to. And again, I thought he was gonna be mad at him, and maybe his job was gonna be in jeopardy. I thought that was gonna be a thing. The governor.
And I'm like, even the governor's like, yeah, I thought he would have been a lot further than he is now. But he's like, yeah, he had it and he lost it.
So again, when he went to Monty's house and he's kind of looking around and that kind of thing, are we gonna find out that again he was also at that executive level, but once the money fell out and then he became an alcoholic and he lost it all? Like, you think we're gonna get that more of that backstory? He wasn't just always the landman.
Oh. Let me go back to what was it? 2 weeks ago or something. Did he not say, I'm an alcoholic? I can't drink wine, but I can drink light beer. I was like, when has that been an AA exception?
You are just having this epiphany? I'm
saying we didn't do, we were off for like a week or something, so I forgot to mention it last week. So
Jamani, he's been saying this since I think almost episode 1 or 2 when he was at the bar and the guy was like, "Give me another round of Michelob Light or whatever." Like he was there very specific with the alcohol. And it's like, well, what about this? No, I can't drink that because that's not real. That's not real alcohol. He's like, what? I don't know. Again, I don't know how far they're gonna get into his lack of sobriety. You know what I'm saying? Or what really happened? Like what got him to this point? How he hit rock bottom? That's my question. I don't know if we're gonna get into how he really hit rock bottom.
When you talk about chain smoking, like I've never seen it. Like I was like, he was smoking a cigarette and then he's lighting up another. I was like, what happened to the other one?
Bruh, Billy Bob just smokes in general, but yeah, he was definitely stressed. He was definitely stressed about a lot of shit. But that's all. I mean, that's always been part of him and like anything he kind of does. So I'm trying to get. Do you know? I'm about to find out. I need to ask Elma. I was gonna say, what is the name of the Breastis coffee place?
I forgot, Adam.
It's okay. I'm about to watch it. Here it is. Hold on. The reason I bring it up is because when Ainsley and Angela are like, "Hey, let's go get some coffee," and she's like, "Let's go to Starbucks." I'm like, "Why are you not going to Titties and Cups?" Or they should open their own version. Um, or Ainsley should work there. I'm just saying they could have kind of worked that into the main storyline. Is what I'm saying. So it's called. Hold on. Babes and Brew. Babes and Brew. That's what it's called. Babes. I don't know if that's a real thing, but Ainsley should be working at Babes and Brew, or Mills and Dills. Like I feel like they should open a version.
If I were to open up an establishment like that, I'd call it Double Cup.
I hear you, Jamani. But I'm saying it would have been. I'm just saying it would be a an interesting scene for the two, especially since they asked for coffee specifically in this episode that I can remember. If they would have drove up to this place and had that, oh, you look better than that woman, mommy, like type of situation to kind of tie it back because they showed the place twice in this series. And I'm assuming they open more than just at 4 o'clock in the morning when these men are going to work. So anyway, I just thought I'd be interested if they're gonna bring it back and bring the mom and daughter into that. All right, so wrap this up. So, what's the last two episodes? What do you think? Where we're going with the cartel, with the National Guard, with Ainsley? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a all out standoff or cartel war. I think it'll. Yeah, I think the National Guard will be caught in the middle of all of this, and we'll be like, yeah, this is way more than we anticipated, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe that will be the coronary for John Hamm or Monty, right? And then Demi Moore just has to step up as the widow, because widows have been the theme of this season.
So you think all of a sudden she'll be the lead for season 2 if there is a season 2?
Yeah, there's gonna be a season 2. This is so highly watched and rated on Paramount Plus. It's like the biggest show they've had.
Well, there you go. Also, if you're still watching this video, I know a few people are. The only reason we're reviewing this episode is because our last review got to 100 views, and I told Jamani that if anything less than 100, we were just gonna do the last 2-3 episodes and just call it a day. But this one hit 100. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna review this week to week, and see what happens. So to your point, the fact that people are still watching our reviews, this show has bite. I thought Rebecca and Tommy were going to be something. I did say that, and now it's not looking like such. Do you think that's over, or I was just wrong? I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's just wrong. Like I think the age difference is one obstacle, but now they have two opposing ideologies, which is basically makes it almost impossible.
Or you build to this. I mean, again, it depends on where they want to do with Angela, right? Like if she's, so anyway, maybe they do work it out. Maybe they want some more drama. Maybe they break it up because like again, the job is always more important than anything else, and she wants more of a husband than just someone who comes home. I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see how that works out. Is there any specific thing you want to see in the last 2 episodes that would make you go, I want to see season 2?
I'm like, what the fuck is Cooper doing now that he don't have a job? Like, what is the show like? Because that was a big part of seeing Cooper all the time. Now that he's basically rich and retired, like what?
Well, he hasn't got the money. He hasn't got the money yet. And as you pointed out, Ariana is going to be rich. Cooper just happens to be there. But you bring up a good point. If his whole thing was, I want to start at the bottom so I can own my own company one day or whatever, and he doesn't have a job, what is his purpose? These are good points. I don't think we're gonna spend a lot of time on him finally falling into the bed and draws of Ariana. That's not really, what does that mean long term? I don't know. I think somehow he gets back with the company. I think he somehow rejoins the companies somehow.
Taylor Sheridan can afford to do bombs, explosions, helicopters. I'm like, I want to know, is that the same helicopter that we saw at the end, like they repurposed it for the scene where John Hamm is just getting off the helicopter. Hey, hold on a minute, I'm getting into the car, like for no reason, right? But yet we can't get a classroom scene with Ainsley. Like, this chick, does she, like, this is a big prediction. Like, when will she ever start attending school?
Okay. All right. I like that. Um, well, I don't know. Maybe season finale, she does finally start classes, or at least signs up for them. But they don't. Ainsley needs to stay in her underwear, so they can't really have her in class like that. So it may be like what we said, the Shy, or like Power Book 3, where it's like she's always leaving school. Like, she's not going to be in class. Like, that's never going to happen. So I feel like she's always going to be leaving class with homework or some shit. But yeah, that's a good point. And it depends on how time runs in this series, right? Like, it's going to be, is
Well,
every day a new day? Is it 3 or 4 days an episode? Like, how do
Well,
they,
yeah, as you can see, they said that it's been 3 weeks since the first
the
episode.
explosion, like 2 or 3, yeah, 2
Yeah,
3 weeks.
so yeah, I'm like, it. Every episode seems like it just covers a day or a day and a half, and then
So
we
they can
gradually.
ride they can ride that out a few seasons. But that's a good point. If she actually does start school, or something more substantive with herself, instead of just being run around in her workout clothes, then that would be something. Maybe she starts working at Whataburger. I want her to work at Whataburger. I just I enjoy the burgers. Anyway, all right. Anything else? Anything else?
Hopefully, Tommy will get some sort of Christmas bonus or something, and will be able to move out of the house, because it seems like everybody wants him to move out of the house. So
Yes.
why would you want to stay in the house with your family and two roommates? Like, that's a sitcom in and of itself. That's why
It is.
it's just
It is.
so kind of folky or funny, or what. It writes itself.
I hear you. If the jokes weren't always the same, then that would, you're right. That would be a good half-hour sitcom. Absolutely, just the shenanigans in the house. You're right about that. Yeah, they do want them to leave, so like they may just move across the street, because Nate and Dale are such. I mean, at least Dale, he's more he's more involved in the show than Nate is, but they're both interesting characters, and they do provide some contrast to Angela and Ainsley, and you kind of need them. I don't know how long they're going to continue the whole "oh my god, your daughter is half dressed" jokes. But I think they'll just move across the street. But I don't think they're going far. But yeah.
And I'm like, Monty answered your question about what is Rebecca still doing here. He's like, you're here to manage liability. So she's there for the long haul, to just manage legal liability.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. So again, as I said, I think I said last episode, like, this Cooper, he forget college. He needs to start have you been injured on an oil field? I can get you $1 million starting. Like, it can only go up. It can only go up. So
No,
I
he
mean,
needs to be like, he needs to be like the expert witness in these cases, for like a lawyer that does those type of commercials. He just, oh shit, they hired Cooper and he's showing up to court. We gotta settle.
chicks. He goes to the top. Exxon, all of them are like, oh my god, Cooper Norris is here. Pay him. We can't have this dude understand. Hey, he actually.
No, I'm like, I want to know what is Ariana's kid's name.
That's a good point. We haven't got the name. I don't think.
I want him to adopt him and name him Charles.
Oh, you mean Chuck, right? So you mean Chuck Norris?
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, it took me a little bit, but thank you, Jamani. Thank you, Jamani. That was you got the jokes. You got the jokes. I see you. I see you. That would anyway, if they I get marriage maybe a step far right now, but I mean there'll be a couple by the finale. But again, what's left after that? Like what is the purpose of her at that point? Short of her, getting pregnant, maybe next season, like she can't. I don't want her just to be the housewife, if or something, or just the love interest. Like I don't. They spend a lot of time with her, so she needs to evolve at some point. And she didn't have any kid, huh?
I don't maybe the mother starts taking interest for like she like in these type of shows, like the mother just all of a sudden wakes up one day and says, "Oh, I want to know what Cooper's doing," and then goes and starts talking with Ariana, and then she starts working at the nursing home or something too, or invest in a nursing home because the nursing home is about to
go under.
Yeah.
Again, any other mother in any other show, I would agree with you. Angela don't give zero fucks about Cooper. That will never happen. It will never happen that she'll just wake up one day and be like, "Oh, let me go check on my son." That's not how that works.
I think that if Cooper starts adopts or starts really playing like that surrogate father to the kid, she's like, "Oh, instant grandchild," and is like, "Yeah, forget Cooper. I'm about the grandchild."
Also, absolutely not, because that's why she got mad last episode, saying that she was in the GILF range. So no, she's not the one to be like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be a grandmother soon." That's not. So she may be fighting the relationship to prevent him from becoming a stepfather, which will turn her into a GILF. And I pray to God we don't have to have this conversation again, because I was like, this is too much. With that, all right. Anything else?
That's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next week.
Thank you, Jamani. I appreciate that. Boop. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This was a good episode. I know I've been hard on this show, well deserving. But this was a good episode. And I hope they're more like this. So I can give credit where credit's due. Anyway, please join us on Wednesday, where we will be discussing Subservience, Gremlins, and Tears of a Hustler, which apparently is on Tubi. I gotta find it, tell me episode it is. But we'll be doing all that, and have a great week and a happy new year. We'll be back on New Year's Day, so we'll be talking about that. So have a safe holiday, another safe holiday, and we'll see what 2025 brings us. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching, people in the chat.
I enjoyed the view. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, "Oh shit,
hilarious, absolutely hilarious."
You want to go there?
Do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.